Now time for our random thoughts on the world of sports, just quick hits. Marty, I'm going to start with the Ryder Cup. As we are recording, it's 10:34 a.m. on Sunday. The Americans may have already lost. I'm not sure, and I don't want to know. I'm glad it's not a live show and nobody can call in and tell me because I've got it taped and I'm going to watch it as soon as we get finished. But I don't want to hear people blaming Captain Zach Johnson for the team's performance on the course. The captain's job, there's a captain and 5 vice captains, they call them. And I don't know why they need 6 captains involved in this game when you're overseeing 12 professional men, but that's another debate for another time. I think it's funny is what I think it is. It's like a 2-to-1 ratio. You've got a captain who's got oversight of 2 people. The captain does make 6 captain's picks. So the Ryder Cup, 6 guys make it on how well they're playing during the year. And then the other 6 are captain picks. The European captain obviously did a much better job. After 2 days, their captain's picks are 7, 5, and 2. The Americans' captain's picks are 2, 9, and 3. Justin Thomas has played well. He's a captain's pick. Jordan Spieth, I would have sent home after day 1. And that's another suggestion I'm going to make is that after day 1, the captain can send somebody home and bring somebody over the pond or when it's in America to the golf course to play, almost like a 13th person who's a reserve. Jordan Spieth would have been on the plane. He was playing decent in the singles matches today before I got on to record the pause. So we'll see how he did. But I don't want to hear people blaming the captain about the performances once they are there. These are professionals, whether they're captain's picks or not, who have faced every shot that they are asked to take in the Ryder Cup at some point, whether they're in a divot in the fairway, 2 feet of rough, like some roughs are at courses, whether they're in the sand, whether they're under pressure, somebody hit the ball out of the water, literally took their, shoes and socks off and hiked their pants up. I forget who it was. My point being, the players are responsible for their own shots. Golf is a game where you're playing against yourself and the conditions. But if you're playing against conditions, everybody's playing against conditions. And so it's not Zach Johnson, who is the captain. It's not his fault if our players are missing 6-foot birdie putts, which they missed plenty of on the first 2 days, or if they're driving the ball into the 2 feet of rough, which they did plenty of times in the first 2 days. And so let's not get on the captain about the performance. You can criticize the picks, but again, he's picking professional golfers. He's not asking me to come play and picking me over Jordan Spieth. If once Jordan Spieth is picked, it's his responsibility to show up and play well. And so regardless of the outcome, which is probably going to be another European win, I don't want to hear that it's Zach Johnson's fault. You can criticize the players he selected, and I can guarantee you he doesn't pick those players by himself. He gets the feedback from his 5 vice captains. I'm sure there's lots of people that have a say in that. And I don't even think he has the final say, to be honest with you. They tell you he does. My guess is he doesn't. My guess is it's a vote. And so I don't want to hear anybody blaming Zach Johnson for the Americans' performance. It's on the 12 Americans who are over there playing golf. And again, they're pros. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to have bad days. That's the game of golf. I'm teaching my son Tyler how to play golf. I said, you're going to hit a great drive on one hole and shank the next one. And that's just the way the game of golf is. And it's not any different than the pros. A shank for me is I hit the ball to the women's tee. A shank for one of the pros is they hit it in the water 350 feet away. That's the difference. And so it is what it is. But that's my random thought is let's not blame the Ryder Cup captain, Zach Johnson, for the loss. Criticize who he picks maybe, but remember, it's not him doing the picking. It's a group of people doing the picking, I'm sure. But it's the players who were there who didn't come through from a skill standpoint that cost the Americans the Ryder Cup. And I hope I'm wrong about this. I hope when I get off and I watch it that they've come back and won. If I had $1,000 to bet, it would be on your as we speak at 10:38 a.m. Floor is yours.
Second
Marty.
Biggest deficit in history for the Americans going into Sunday morning. I'm here for Hatgate, first of all, with the Ryder Cup, with the Rory McIlroy dust up with the caddy yesterday in the parking lot. Good grief. By the way, it's ridiculous that one U.S. player won't wear the hat because it's not the sponsor he signed with.
He should have just said he doesn't like to wear hats.
He doesn't have to.
Just say you don't like to wear hats.
Instead of making it about money. I can't stand that. All right, I've got 2 quick ones. One, this week, 2 coaches, Ryan Day and Coach Dicker, I can't remember his first name, it might be Jake, from Washington State in college football. Both went after older guys who made comments about their teams on television. Ryan Day, seconds after they beat Notre Dame last week on the last play of the game, immediately got into the microphone and said, "Where's Lou Holtz? Where's Lou Holtz?" Because Lou Holtz had made a comment about his team's toughness. Lou Holtz is a guy in his 80s. Not that that matters, but don't start going after talking heads on TV right after huge wins. Praise your team. Talk about your quarterback, your running back, your defense. It just makes you look so petty to go after a guy. And then, Lee Corso, who's like America's sweetheart when it comes to college football. He had a stroke several years ago. He's never been the same. It's very difficult for him on the set of College Game Day. Coach Dicker from Washington State went after him because of a comment that the coach ended up taking out of context. You can go on Twitter and see what I'm talking about. Lee Corso did not say what the coach is accusing him of saying. And it was just, it comes off as so petty and so nonsensical. And it makes it look so bad going after guys who have been and done so much for the game, especially in the case of Lee Corso. The second one is one I have brought up a couple times over the years, and I saw it in 4 separate occasions in college football this weekend. 4th and inches and teams going into the shotgun. And last year I mentioned something, and a bunch of coaches sent me things. Well, it opens up your options. Who cares? What option do you need if you can't get 4th and inches on the, what are they calling it now? The tush push or the brotherly shove is the one I heard yesterday is the new one. It's so ridiculous to me. And by the way, all 4 times I saw this, they did not get the first down. These teams. One was in an SMU game, another was in an FCS game. Might have been the Delaware State game actually. But I will never understand in 4th and short situations why you allow 5 to 6 yards for the defense to get a start. Your guy gets a running head start. That's fine. He's running into 300-pound offensive and defensive linemen at the line. So it's not something, I'm not a coach. I don't know, but it's just something that drives me nuts, especially when it's my team. And the Steelers have done it twice this year where they have not gotten it. I go with the Eagles philosophy. Jalen Hurts has this amazing streak of first downs with that push from behind from the running back. So coaches, enough with the shotgun in the 4th and short. And those are my 2 random thoughts.
And defenses, make sure you have 11 players on the field.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Or if you don't on one play, get them on for the next play.
The best sign I saw at game day yesterday was Manti Te'o's girlfriend was Notre Dame's 11th man, which I just thought was fantastic. A great sign.
At least they didn't mention Taylor Swift once on game day. Right. As somebody said, Taylor Swift is ruining football for us this year.
Trust me, that's NFL. Coming tonight when she will be she'll be in attendance at the Jets game in New York tonight for the Jets Chiefs contest. So
wonder if she'll leave at halftime. I wonder if she'll leave at halftime like the other like the Jets fans will. I'll be asleep. I can guarantee you that.
Zach Wilson might take care of that, the being asleep part.
Don't get me started. All right, that's going to do it for the week's episode. Special thanks to our sponsors, Grain Restaurant, the Marticelli Restaurant Group, Diamond Hill Incorporated, Mary Kate Johnston with Remax Associates, and Dan Rigby, author of the Win the Day Planner, and of course our presenting sponsor, websitesforsports.com, for all the sports information you need, regardless of your role as a sports person in Delaware. That's websites, the number 4 sports.com. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at DELHS Football. I guess I should say X, formerly Twitter, at DELHS Football, and Facebook at the DELHS Football Pod. And please like and share our podcast, subscribe to it on YouTube, et cetera, so you can help us spread the word about the wonderful sport of football here in Delaware. Until next time, for Marty Sheehan, I'm John Buzby. Everybody have a great sports week.